It is trending Thursday, and one thing that's trending is spring cleaning. But one thing people usually don't think about is changing the batteries on their smoke detectors. Right now we have Captain Lucas Spellman from the Riverside County Fire Department to tell us all about it. Welcome. Good morning, Captain.
Thank you, Gloria.
So, I have to confess that I personally don't know how to change the batteries, and I've had that beeping sound go off. So how do we change the batteries on our smoke detectors?
Well, I have a smoke detector here with us today.
Okay.
On the back of a smoke detector, it always has a door where the battery would go, and that door has usually a red or plastic type of thing that will push down. So we'll put the battery in there. Okay. They have different sides. You have a positive and a negative battery. On the door, it also has that right there, and what you'd want to do is just slide that in with the red, push it down. You won't have anything sticking out. That little piece sticks out so the door won't go down.
Oh.
You heard it cheap?
Yeah.
Chirp there, that tells us that it's in there, and then also we have a button right here that tests, and that button right there will allow us to test it monthly to make sure the battery is still working.
And we heard the little chirp. Sometimes that keeps going even if you change the batteries. So what does that mean?
That means the battery's too low and it needs to be switched out. And we've talked about this before, where if you don't feel comfortable on a ladder, I would always suggest a professional to come out to switch that, but it is something that you can do on your own if you need to.
So make sure that you get the fresh battery when you're replacing it.
Absolutely, and that becomes a yearly thing. We usually do it at time change. We like that either in the spring or in the fall, depending on whichever one you like, and testing it once a month. But the nice thing is in California now, the new ones are a 10-year seal lithium-ion battery. You never have to change them, so it's good for 10 years.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
But if you have the old-fashioned ones, once a year is good.
Absolutely, and they do have a 10-year life, so you would want to, after 10 years, switch them out with a new one.
Okay, great idea. You make it sound so easy there. We do have some tips that you have. You say, like you mentioned, really test them out monthly. What are some other tips you have for people?
Well, you want to make sure that if it's in a doorway or something like that, that you get them cleaned. Maybe a little vacuum cleaner that you would, the open port in there to get the dust out of there. Also, we also have problems by bathrooms and kitchens because of the steam. It's a nuisance alarm. Essentially, it's not a fire in your house, but they go off. So we suggest that you just move it a little bit further away from that bathroom until it stops giving you the nuisance alarms, but it's still within that area.
I was mentioning to you, I have one right in my kitchen, and it's so annoying because it always goes off when I'm cooking. Any little thing, it'll go off, so I need to get that moved, I guess.
Absolutely, that would be a really, really good idea. And like we said, every month, just a quick test to make sure. If it does start chirping, usually it's in the middle of the night, I find you get a little chirp. That just means your battery has its life, and it needs to be changed at that point.
And if you have a hard time doing it yourself, you can hire somebody to change it out for you. But you said you can always call the fire department if you need help, right?
Absolutely. We're always there to help. We don't have a program to change the batteries, but if you have any problems, we're always there to help.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us today. Very informative. That makes me remember that I need to change my batteries. So I'll get that taken care of. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
And stay with us. We have much more for you to come on your KMIR.